Round 42. We're going to start the same way as before with chain 4 and treble into the same space. Chain 2, treble into the next second treble. Chain 1, work the popcorn into the next chain 2 space. Create your popcorn. Chain 1, treble into the next treble. Chain 4, single crochet into the next space. Like I said in the last part, we are going to repeat whatever goes on here. Chain 4, skip the popcorn, treble into the next treble. Work a popcorn into the next space. Chain 1 and treble into this space. So our popcorns always have a treble before and after them. 5 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And single crochet into the middle single crochet of the 3. Chain 5 and work a popcorn. First start with the treble. We're working the filet crochet cell with the popcorn inside. So chain 1 and then work your popcorn. Chain 1 and treble into the next treble. And then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next space, chain 4, and skip this popcorn, treble into the next treble, and you're basically at the other end of this whole stitch pattern. So let's work the popcorn into that chain 2 space here. My popcorn is almost done. Chain 1, treble into the next treble, chain 2, shell into the old shell. Nothing changed here. The shell is still 2 trebles, chain 2 and 2 trebles into the same chain 2 space. Chain 2, treble into the middle of the 3, chain 2, increase the middle stitches, so I'm done with that, and then chain 2, treble into the middle of the 3, chain 2 and start the new shell into the old shell. Let's complete this shell. And I think with this done, you're ready to repeat from the chain 2 in the beginning all the way to the end of this shell. Repeat around. Round 43. I already started with half shell, chain 2 space, and the whole filet crochet cell with the popcorn into that chain 2 space here. So since we are repeating whatever happened here, this shouldn't be too hard to follow. So after the popcorn, chain 4, single crochet into the next space, into the next single crochet, and into the next space. A total of 3 single crochets. Chain 4 again, and skip the next popcorn and work a popcorn into the next space, starting with the treble. So treble into that next treble, and then chain one. Well, let's work the popcorn the usual way into this space. So once you have done your popcorn, chain one, finish this with a treble into this same space. Chain two, and work another popcorn into the next space. So we start with a treble, chain one. We're going to work our 5 trebles, chain one, and treble into the next treble right here. And then repeat what we did in the beginning. Chain 4, single crochet into the next space, into the next single crochet, and into the next space. Chain 4, skip the next popcorn, treble into the next treble. So this is the other side of this stitch pattern, and everything is familiar here. So let's work that popcorn into the chain 2 space. If there are a few things that I do not mention, like a chain 1 or I don't know, a chain 2 space or something else, it's because I have those in the back of my mind. And if you have been working on the dress as long as I have, then you should have all those stitches. For example, the chain 1 here, like it's in the back of your head and you work it automatically, because that's how the popcorn always requires. Treble, chain 1, popcorn, chain 1, treble, chain 2, and then shell into the old shell. Chain 3, and increase the stitches for the middle part one last time. So 1 into the space before the trebles, and then work all the trebles all the way. And my trebles are done with the increases in place. And now I'm ready to continue with chain 3, shell into the old shell. Now starting from the beginning with the chain 2 here, repeat all this section around. Round 44 already started. Half shell, chain 2 space, popcorn into that space, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet into the next space, into the next 3 single crochets, and into the next space. A total of 5 single crochets here, and then chain 7, and we must work a popcorn into this. So treble into the next second, 1, 2 into here, chain 1, let's work the popcorn into this space, all right. After you're done with that, repeat again, chain 7, the single crochets, and chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then single crochets, 1 into the space, one into each of the next 3, and 1 into the space, and again chain 7, skip the popcorn, treble into the next treble, and here you know how to work. This is the other end of this stitch pattern. So popcorn into that chain 2 space, chain 1, and treble into the next treble, chain 2, shell into the old shell, chain 2, and let's keep decreasing the trebles. So skip the next space, skip the next treble, and starting with the second one, work the trebles all the way up to the last one. Here are my trebles. I did not work the last one. Now chain 2 and shell into the old shell. And starting with the chain 2 at the beginning of this repeat, go all the way to this shell here and repeat a round. Round 45. Start the same way as the previous one with shell, half shell, chain 2, and then the popcorn into this space. Chain 2, treble into the next treble in here. Work a popcorn into the next space. Chain 1 and then that popcorn. Chain 1 and treble into this space. We're completing that filet crochet cell. Chain 6. Skip next single crochet and work a single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Chain 6. So the cell with the popcorn into the next space. Let's finish this popcorn. Chain 1 and treble into the next treble. And we need to work one more window here, so chain 7 and then treble into the next treble, and then work a popcorn into the next space, treble into this same space, chain 6, skip next single crochet and single crochet into the next 3 stitches, chain 6 and work treble, chain 1, a popcorn into the next space, chain 1, and let's finish this filet crochet cell with a treble into the next treble, chain 2, treble into the next treble here, chain 1, work a popcorn into the next space, chain 1 and treble into the next treble, chain 2, shell into the old shell, chain 2, skip next space, next treble, and work the trebles up to the last one. These trebles are done, and then chain 2 and work a shell into the old shell. And starting with the chain 2 in the beginning here, repeat everything around. Round 46. Start the same as the previous ones, so half shell, chain to space, work that popcorn into the next space here. And then let's work 3 filet crochet cells. That would be chain 2, treble into the next treble. That was the first cell. Again, chain 2, treble into the next treble. That's the second cell. And one more time. Chain 2, treble into the next treble. And then we need to work a popcorn into the next space, so chain 1 and work your popcorn in this space. Chain 1 and end this cell with a treble into that space. Chain 5, single crochet into the middle, single crochet of the 3, chain 5, work another cell with a popcorn inside into the next space, chain 1 and finish that with a treble into the next treble, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next space, chain 4, treble into the next second, 1, 2, chain 1, work your popcorn into the next space, chain 1, treble into the same space, chain 5, single crochet into the middle of the 3 single crochets, chain 5, treble into the next space, chain 1, popcorn into the same space, chain 1, treble into the next treble, and let's work our 3 filet crochet empty cells. Chain 2, treble into the next treble, chain 2, treble into the next treble, and one more time, chain 2 and treble into the next treble, chain 1, work the popcorn into that next space, chain 1, treble into the next treble, chain 2, shell into the old shell, chain 2, and decrease the next trebles in the same manner as we did before. So the trebles are completed, and the only thing that's left here, another chain 2 and shell into the old shell. And then you're ready to repeat around, starting with that chain 2 space after the half shell in the beginning. Round 47. Already started with chain 4 and treble into that first space, and then chain 2, and then I worked my filet crochet cell with the popcorn inside into this space. 5 filet crochet cells. So chain 2, treble into the next treble. That's 1 filet crochet cell. Chain 2, treble into the next treble, that's second cell, and keep working chain 2, treble into the next treble until you have 5 cells in total. Chain 2 and treble into the next treble, so that's my 4th, and one more time, chain 2, treble into the next treble here. Now we need to work our popcorn into next space. So chain 1, let's create our popcorn. Chain 1 and treble into the same space. Chain 2, into the next space, work that filet crochet cell with the popcorn inside. So what's happening here? This is my new little diamond shape. So chain 4, single crochet into the next space, single crochet into the next single crochet, and a single crochet into the next space, and again chain 4, and skip the popcorn, and starting with the next treble, work a treble into this next treble, and then work another popcorn into the space, again chain 2, and one more time filet crochet cell with the popcorn inside in the next space. Let's finish this cell with a treble into the next treble, and then let's work 5 empty cells. Chain 2, treble into the next treble, that's one time, and then again, that's second time, third time, 1, 2, and then treble, that's fourth time, again chain 2, and one last time the treble into the next treble. So I have my 5 filet crochet cells. Let's work our popcorn. So chain 1 and 5 trebles into this next chain 2 space. Okay, chain 2, and let's work the shell into the old shell. Chain 2, let's decrease these trebles. Okay, chain 2 and a shell into the old shell. All right, so this section is pretty huge, but you have to repeat everything, starting with this chain 2 in the beginning, all the way to this shell here, the shell that's after the trebles. Repeat around and we'll meet in the next one.